10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is December 7th, and today's episode is going to start with a little bit of self-indulgence for me, as I like to do on these occasions, and we will talk about a new episode of Launchpad that was released this morning in the US Eastern Time, and later on in the day, depending on where you are in the world. So this was episode 16 of Launchpad, and this episode I talked to Dave, who is the founder of Rocket Pool. He's now known on Discord as Darcius, for those who don't know. And we had a really great spirited chat. Dave is a really bubbly, kind of happy kind of guy, laughing a lot, like really, really great attitude. And, we talked about him, his passion for computers in the late 80s and early 90s, getting onto like the first forms of the internet, and then going to school for a computer science degree, working in programming, but also doing lots of entrepreneurial stuff himself. We talked about him getting into crypto in 2013 and how he was mining and all sorts of cool stuff, and getting into Ethereum, and then the beginnings of Rocket Pool and some of the ups and downs of Rocket Pools that have happened over the last 6 years. And then we spent a chunk of the episode at the end talking about all the different things that we're expecting in 2024 and how they're going to be really cool. So if you want to watch this episode, you can follow the link in the description, and you can check it out. Also remember as well that Rocket Fuel is available via podcast form. If you don't want to watch the videos on YouTube, you can get the links to the different platforms that you can find the podcast on in the YouTube description of the video, and also in the Discord if you want to go looking there. Okay, so let's get to some actual news today. So the first bit of news today was that there was a community call that happened this morning, and this community call was hosted by Jasper, and Mav was around too, especially for the second half of it. But the main guest was Stakewise, and we talked about Stakewise version 3 launching, which is their permissionless staking node operator solution, and setting up all their vaults and stuff, and congratulating them on them, talking to them about their history and how long it's taken them to get to this point, and how the founder of Stakewise was actually one of the people who found a bug in Rocket Pool on mainnet launch night, like over 2 years ago. So that was a nice bit of shared history between the two protocols. And then we'll spend a bit of time talking about the RETH and OSETH pool on Curve that I talked about in Rocket Fuel a couple of days ago. And on top of that, then we also had the community call, which was the summary of the bi-weekly. So Jasper and Mav went through that, and we went through that on Rocket Fuel yesterday. So this was a nice call where it was really jovial, really collegiate, and there was it was a really nice conversation. So I'm happy that the Rocket Pool and Stakewise protocols are kind of building relationships with handshakes, and they're technically a rival, but I think the more people there are to take share from Lido, the better it is, and we can all work together on making decentralized permissionless staking and liquid staking tokens on Ethereum a reality. So this is where you can go and watch the call, and you can get the information about it. What actually happened was that the call stopped around halfway through, so there's actually 2 links. So you have to poke around on the Rocket Pool Twitter account to find the second link, but you can get that information then. Okay, next we've got some serious news. So this was an update from Langers last night in protocol, or yesterday evening, saying, hey everyone, the proposed Houston feature governance votes are now live. So here we have 4 votes that are live. So we have the RPL withdrawal address, which is RPIP31, the stake ETH on behalf of Node, RPIP32, implementation of an on-chain PDAO, which is RPIP33, and time-based balance and RPL price submissions, which is RPIP35. So this is please review the proposals. If you have any questions, feel free to raise them on the discussion forum posts. So let's go and have a look at these proposals. So there are 4 of them. The first one here is RPL withdrawal address. So as you can see here, there's been 3,200 votes, and this is 99.37% in favor, 21 votes against, with 3,200 votes in favor of this. So quorum is 7,400 votes. And the next one, we have a stake on behalf of ETH, and this is 100% for. Next, we have the implementation of the on-chain voting. So this is 3,100 votes for and 83 votes against. Let me see who voted against. We got abstain. Yeah, there were a few people abstaining, not voting against. I'm sorry, I misread that. Yes, 0 votes against. And I think that was also the case with RPIP. No, that was against. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And then finally, we have RPIP 35, and this is also 3,100 votes in favor, 47 votes against, and 12 votes abstained. And let's see who voted against it here. If the names, no, I don't know who that person is. So that's cool. But yeah, these votes are ongoing. So if you want to take part in the governance, then go and vote for these however you wish. And also, if you want more information, then you can read the rationale behind each vote on the Discord. On the forum, on the snapshot page, and then it gives you a link to the forum thread if you want to go and read the discussion about it. So thank you, Langas, for sharing those, and we have until December 20th for these, but I'm almost certain all 4 of them will pass quite easily. Okay, next we had some really exciting news out of the Rescue Node. So for those of you who know, the Rescue Node is a service that the GMC funds. It gives money to Patches, Popash, I think Object, I'm not sure, some other people in the Rocket Pool community. I think this time D McCartney is getting some money as well. I think, but I'm not sure. But the GMC basically pays for this service called the Rocket Pool Rescue Node, which was a fallback machine that people staking with Rocket Pool could use if they were going to prune their execution client, or if they had some reason that they had to go down on their node. They could use this as a fallback, which meant they could keep testing as long as they had an internet connection. So the Rescue Node a few months ago had kind of Patches pushed some ideas about whether or not we should open it to solo stakers. The community was strongly in favor of that as kind of a public good, right? The GMC would pay for it as a public good to Ethereum and solo stakers. So today that work was done, and Patches, yesterday evening actually that work was done. So Patches released this tweet, short thread saying a Rescue Node is now available to solo stakers, rescuenode.com. Solo stakers can use this service as a fallback beacon node for maintenance and emergencies. Access is granted for 10 days at a time, twice per year. And it says the site requires a signature from the wallet of your 0x01 withdrawal credential. This signature isn't and can't be used on chain and only serves as proof that you have custody of the validator you are attempting to connect with. It says we support the 5 major validation clients, which are Lodestar, Nimbus, Lighthouse, Teku, and Prism. It says we also have public Grafana dashboard, so you can check which versions we run, and then there's information. It says as a reminder, the Rescue Node is not fully trustless. Please review the risks and trust assumptions, and then there's documentation about that. It says in order to avoid missed proposals while connected, we strongly recommend using your 0x01 address as your fee recipient, or at least enabling MEV boost. The node is secured by custom reverse proxy, which prevents our other users from overriding your fee recipient settings. However, you are still trusting that we, the maintainers, will not attempt to steal proposal rewards from you, the users. We run this service as a public good and do not profit from you using it. It's funded by the Rocket Pool Grants Committee. We aim to have high availability, but uptime shouldn't be assumed to be perfect as we are on a budget. You can provide feedback and ask questions in the Rescue Node channel on ETH Staker Discord, or just pop by to say hi. We would like to deeply thank D McCartney for his tireless work on the new website, and the Rocket Pool GMC for their continued support. Now is a great time to switch to a minority execution client. You can use the Rescue Node while you sync to the new client. So that's a really great idea. If you're on Geth, get off Geth, jump on Bisu, Nethermind, Aragon, Reth, even. I don't think that's production ready yet, but get away from Geth and use this fallback node feature of Rescue Node to do that. Okay, next we have this forum post from Epinef, and he says options forum thread. So he says, please see the Discord options thread for many of the ideas that have already been discussed. And then there's a link. It says name of the bounty. This is called the Rapid Research Incubator. What is the nature of the proposed bounty. It says the Rocket Pool protocol has grown substantially since launch, but it's not keeping pace with Lido validated market share. Lido has plans to launch a more decentralized, which is in quotes, option within a year, anticipated to allow home stakers to stake with 4 ETH bond and 7.5 commission on the 28 ETH. This would likely threaten the value proposition and growth of Rocket Pool, but more generally the idea of credible neutrality and the decentralization of the Ethereum network. The Rocket Pool protocol will need to adapt in multiple ways to meet this competition. This bounty is meant to rapidly generate actionable ideas for ways forward to drive more value to node operators specifically and the protocol in general. The payment structure is intended to provide some financial reimbursement for diverse community members actively brainstorming solutions, as well as more heavily reward selected ideas that have high likelihood of being translated into protocol improvements. This is a chance to get paid for ideas which you think are great for the protocol, but that you might have previously felt were too radical. We are at a point where we need to think outside the box and quickly. The goal after initial brainstorming is to pick several promising ideas and fund further research to get them over the finish line, voted upon and eventually enacted. It says, must the results of this project be entirely open source? Yes, the contents of submissions will be used by the Rocket Pool community and the team. Work and verification, it says, what steps would need to be entailed in completing the bounty? Do successful examples of such work exist elsewhere? It says the bounty requests community members submit a brief abstract with specific actionable recommendations regarding any of the following. So there are 4 areas. 1, mechanisms that help balance supply and demand across the parties in the protocol. So that's RETH, RPL, and node operators. For example, balancing commission, RETH versus node operators, or balancing minimum RPL bond, RPL versus node operators. This is mechanisms of alternative value capture for RPL besides use as a pure staked bond, mechanisms and feasibility requirements for lowering ETH bond requirements for mini pools, and updates on the penalty system MEV safety, including evaluating options for node level collateral. So it says the suggested length is 0.5 to 3 pages on any topic above, including specifically which topic or topics is intended to answer. The brief should include both perceived benefits and suspected drawbacks, downsides, further research data decisions needed, specific actionable recommendations, and general implementation ideas. The brief does not have to be polished, complete data analysis, or specific code. It will not be judged on English proficiency, grammar, etc. The brief should be a single work that you can link to rather than referring to a series of post threads. A single individual can submit multiple works, can be posted as a single Discord forum, a Discord post, a forum post, a GitHub submission, or uploaded document in any form that can be easily viewed. And this how long is this available for? So it's going to be available for 21 days until December 26th. And it says who will test any product submitted for claiming the bounty. It says there will be a committee to read through and review the briefs with binding power over assigning rewards. A mechanism for non-binding community voting is also likely. The details of the committee are still pending. And then what's the acceptance criteria? So it says every series submission will be considered. Between 13 and 17 submissions will be rewarded with $250 to $2,500. Highly prized qualities will be specific actionable recommendations, high impact innovation, uniqueness of ideas, persuasive discussion, evaluation of drawbacks, steelman arguments, and feasibility from both technical and political, that's PDAO standards. And then it says benefits, like how these will benefit all the different stakeholders in the community. What other non-Rocket Pool protocols does this impact? None. Completed. Will the results be open source? Yes. Payments. So we will have 12 prizes of $250, 3 prizes of $1,000, 1 prize of $1,500, and 1 prize of $2,500. So the total prize amount will be $10,000, and that will go to people who submit serious submissions. And then EPNF is a member of the GMC, which is a conflict of interest, and then there's no other vested interests except Rocket Pool will benefit. And then EPNF kind of explains about how this is causing issues with the GMC, because otherwise, the GMC would normally be funding this, but it looks like it'll have to be funded by EPNF first and then by the GMC later, because of trying to get everything done as quickly as possible. Okay, then the discussion started on this matter in the options draft thread, and here Togby was the first person to he says, is there somewhere specific we should post submissions for the bounty? And then Epinef says, not really. Anywhere that I'm able to link should work. If you ping me, I'll try to keep a running list of submissions with attributions in one location, but posting a link in this thread may make the most sense. So then Schifrin says, why was the bounty not officially submitted? And Epinef says, since bounties are future work, and this is for work done in December, the GMC award that would make the most sense would be retroactive award. If I don't get any feedback about the specific metrics, I was planning to submit a nearly identical worded retroactive this period for potential approval at the end of December. And then when will the work be completed by? So we want the work to be completed by December 26th. And then Schifrin says, how will the GMC deliberate? So this was a whole bunch of GMC stuff back and forth. And Waldorf says, we don't want people caught up too much in the details. Easy option, make it around 9 or even around 10 retro, or make it a grant that funds the program in round 7 and then can pay out on its own schedule. And then that was kind of the discussion. So if you are interested in providing some information for this, like I've got an idea that I might put to paper about a value proposition for the RPL token and using it to make a layer 2, Rocket Pool layer 2, and then using Rocket Pool node operators as sequences and using RPL as a bond for making sure that they're doing honest work. That's just a quick idea. I have no idea how feasible it will be, but I'll be thinking about that over the next coming days and seeing if I can write up a page or two about my ideas and submitting that. But it should be exciting. We want as many applications as possible, and I know that I really shouldn't be saying this maybe, but I think if we get lots and lots and lots of really good ideas, then maybe we can apply for retroactive grants for people to get paid more than and above that $10,000 mark. But that, of course, is not a promise or guarantee at all, because we don't know for sure. Okay, next we have, talking about the GMC, we have this tweet thread from the Rocket Pool Twitter account, which is putting out some really nice tweet threads at the moment. So this one's about the GMC, which is the Grants and Bounties Management Committee. It says retroactive public grants funding has been part of Rocket Pool's protocol DAO for a year now. The Grants and Bounties Management Committee, GMC, also does much more. Read them and find out all their fantastic work supporting permissionless liquid staking. So here we've got information about the members. So it says 9 GMC members are voted annually. They elected an administrator, and you can read more about the GMC structure in RPIP 26 with all the links. So it says funded by a share of RPL token inflation, the GMC distributes funds monthly for a task project completion under 3 different categories, either a payment or a bounty or a retroactive award. And this is over 24,255 RPL has been awarded to date, worth more than $750,000 at current prices. This has helped fund research, analytics, education, development and design, plus work across reporting, documentation, governance and administrative areas, and Rocket Fuel, which I guess comes under education. And it says, how can you participate? Browse the open bounties on the Rocket Pool website, which shows you all the information of the bounties that are open at the moment. And then it says, chat with the GMC on Discord. Then there's a link, and it says, check out the GMC section on the DAO governance forum, and there's a link there as well. So I just want to give a shout out to these threads because they're beautiful. I really like these images that are here, and just everything about it is just like good stuff. So thank you for that. Let me actually give that a nice little retweet because I didn't do that yet. Okay, there we go. Okay, next we have this information that we covered in yesterday's episode, but I just wanted to give a shout out again. So Maverick put a little rocket emoji in the conferences thread and asked for people to react with the emoji if they are coming to ETH Denver. So far we've had 17 people react to this, but I'm absolutely certain that way more than 17 people will be coming to ETH Denver. We had a quick look at this list yesterday, and since then, we've had Sneaky and Sleety and Highfly.eth and Fornax and Maverick and Steve and Metro and myself and a bunch of others react with the rocket emoji as well. So yeah, that's really cool. Ken says that I'm 99% certain that if you apply, especially before February, you will get a free ticket to attend, and that's by staking one Spork DAO token or promising to stake one if this is your first time. Okay, next we had this announcement from Mav, who was kind of like asking on behalf of Term Finance. So I thought I'd cover it for you all and see if anyone has any information about this. So Mav says, hey everyone, Term Finance was wanting to know if any RETH whales would be interested in this opportunity. So if you are an RETH whale and you are interested in some DeFi stuff, listen on. It says Term Finance, a fixed rate lending protocol, is looking to onboard RETH as collateral. Term auctions have been consistently clearing 4-week ETH fixed rate borrows, which is at 2.25% to 2.5%, and stablecoin borrows against LSTs between 4.5 and 5%, well below the typical Aave borrow rate. It would be great to engage the community to see if there's demand to borrow on Term against RETH as collateral and plan timing around the first auction. So they're trying to drum up some support and some market share, I guess. And if anyone who's listening has some RETH that they would like to get involved with this, then reach out to Mav, who can put you in touch with the Term Finance people. Okay, and finally, we're going to end today's episode with this news from NodeSet that came yesterday. So they had a community call that took place, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what was said in that, thanks to a submission from Sneaky, who gave a summary of the call. So Sneaky says, first of all, they gave information about node operator onboarding for NodeSet. So now they have 110 node operators onboarded, and they've still got a lot of applications in the queue that they want to get through, and they're hoping to have 250 to 300 operators by the time Constellation is launched, and Constellation will be the integration with Rocket Pool. So they said Node Stake, they're launching a vault on Stakewise through NodeSet, which is going to be a Gravita vault. So Gravita, which is a lending borrowing protocol, is you deposit your RETH and get GRI, which is then their liquid stablecoin. And then they are setting up a Stakewise pool, and they want Rocket Pool node operators to run that pool. Not Rocket Pool, sorry, NodeSet node operators to run that pool and basically make some money from that. So they're hoping that will go into testing over the next couple of weeks in December and targeting a mainnet launch in January. So if you want to be a NodeSet node operator for Gravita's vault, then get practicing your solo staking, because you'll have to learn how to sign exit messages and stuff. It's not quite as straightforward as using the smart node stack eventually. But then with ETH Denver, they had an update saying that the entire NodeSet team will be in attendance, but they don't plan to have a booth at this point. They are, however, considering some form of NodeSet meetup. So I guess, keep your ears out for that, and they'll let you know what's going on with that closer to the time. And then Constellation, which is an update about their Rocket Pool integration, they're saying that they're expecting Houston to launch around ETH Denver time. And then NodeSet wants to have Constellation out for testing shortly after Houston, but they have no guarantees on the actual timeline, but they're targeting somewhere around March or April, depending on when the Ethereum upgrade will take place and when Houston will happen as well. So hopefully it'll be around that March time. So NodeSet can get out testing pretty much right away. Then they said that the Constellation contracts are mostly feature complete, nearly code complete. Over the next months, NodeSet's goal is to dial in parameters to a point where NodeSet feels comfortable with them, i.e. how the system reacts to changes to the inputs. And after that, they've got individual functions of Constellation have been tested and are working well. Over the next few months, they'll be transitioning into integration testing, making sure everything works as expected end to end. Then the Hyperdrive client, which I think is going to be a sidecar or an add-on to the Smart Node stack. So Joe is working with that, and he's helping developing that, working with another NodeSet developer who's working on it. So he said this is for smart contract interfacing. The design is mostly done. Technical details are ironed out. Development is underway, currently around 10 to 15% complete. They're shooting to get this completed over the next few months. And then Hyperdrive will start handling pre-signed exit messages via an internal tool called Pixis. and then the NodeSet team plans to start development of this as soon as the stake-wise stuff is done. So the pre-signed exit messages, the thing with that is, if those exit messages leak, then an attacker could make all the validators on a given protocol exit, which would be disastrous for the protocol. It would be disastrous for everyone involved. So that they're, I guess, going to come up with a really secure system of managing those exit messages. And just as we were talking yesterday with Stader, they've actually kept their exit messaging system closed source at the moment, and they've been kind of coy about what it is and what it does. So this is a really crucial technology, and I guess they want to get it done right. So those are some high-level takeaways. So thank you so much for that information, Sneaky. That's absolutely fantastic. And then Wanda explained that Pyxis is actually a small and faint constellation in the southern sky, yeah, it was called the Mariner's Compass in past, but. Yeah, that is an update of NodeSet and all the Rocket Pool news that we have for today. So thank you all for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. I hope you all enjoy the episode with Dave on Launchpad. If you do watch that or listen to that, and if you enjoy the episode, please give it a boost on your social media. I don't ask for that kind of stuff very often, but with Launchpad episodes, it really helps kind of get the word out in a really cool way. So thanks everyone, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.